So I've been wanting to make this video for a little while now. My brother's been using the same Ikea and desk chair setup for the last 5 years, and even though it's definitely served its purpose for what he used it for, I definitely wanted to help upgrade him from everything on the desk itself, to a chair, to all the accessories that go on the desk, because I do want to help him out from a quality of life improvement, since he is sitting at that desk for 8 to 10 hours a day. So in this video we're going to do exactly that, and I did keep it very budget friendly and budget focused, so you guys can pick and choose some accessories, and maybe it helps kind of amplify your current desk setup as well. So without further ado, let's get right into this video and actually change up this entire desk setup. Let's get into it. So of course, the centerpiece of any desk setup has to be the desk itself, so I decided to go with the E7 Plus by Flexispot because it was the cheapest entry point that you could find for a 4-legged sit-stand desk that is extremely reliable. And the main reason I wanted to go with a sit-stand desk and not a static one is because it does add another layer of flexibility in there, so even for people that don't stand a lot of the day, it does allow you to just press one button, because of course you can save your height for standing and sitting, and then all of a sudden you're standing up and it adds kind of another form of actual productivity because all of a sudden you're stretching your legs and you get the blood flow going, especially if you're somebody that sits for 8 to 10, maybe even 12 hours a day at a desk. So this desk at its lowest point will go down to 26 inches in height, and then at its highest point will go to 51.6 inches. And then when it comes to the actual weight that this thing holds, I know that we're dealing with more of a minimalistic setup, so there isn't too much on the desk. But if you do have a big setup in terms of weight with a lot of monitors and a CPU, maybe you have a console on there, then it does support up to 440 pounds when it is moving. And if you keep it static and you don't plan to move it, it supports up to 540 pounds. And the main reason I wanted to go with a 4-legged standing desk is because when you do have it at that stand height, it does tend to wobble a little bit if you only have 2 legs, especially if you're on a carpeted surfaces and you aren't on actual hardwood or cement or whatever the case may be. So with the 4-legged standing desk, you get a lot more confidence when it comes to the wobbling nature, because honestly, it really does not wobble at all once you are at that kind of taller height when you are standing. And I used to have a desk that did wobble a lot back in the day when it only had 2 legs, and that did get a little bit frustrating, and that deterred me a lot from actually using in stand mode. But now with the 4 legs that you have here with the E7 Plus, it kind of encourages you to stand up there because it is so sturdy and rigid. So I will leave the E7 Plus alongside all the other accessories that I mentioned in this video down in the description below for you guys to check out, because it is the cheapest entry point for such a high quality desk, and they do offer some cheaper desks if you guys want to check those out, I believe all the way down to $299. So definitely check out the E7 Plus as an option if you're looking for a brand new sit-stand desk. So now the actual computer that's powering this whole desk setup is going to be the M1 MacBook Pro, and now this is the M1 MacBook Pro that released alongside the M1 MacBook Air back in 2020, so it does still have that touch bar on top. This is the baseline model, so we're talking M1 chip with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, and it's been absolutely amazing. We thought about upgrading the computer, but he really saw no need, even after 4 years of use, to actually upgrade this computer, because what he usually uses it for is mostly web surfing. He's on LinkedIn a lot for work, so he does have multiple Chrome tabs open, but he's not really gaming on it, he's not really creating any content on it, he's not rendering any photos, he's not kind of on that creative side. He's pretty much inside of the actual web portal in Safari, in Chrome, and kind of having all those tabs open. So maybe we could have gotten him a 16 gig RAM MacBook Air or something like that, but for right now, which is absolutely amazing to see, the M1 MacBook Pro is still holding true, which is awesome. And as of right now, the M1 MacBook Pro is discontinued, at least this version of it. There's no more Touch Bar MacBook Pro. There's no more MacBook Pro with this form factor. So if you guys do have one, definitely hold on to it. And as of right now, I have seen some very inexpensive ones renewed and refurbished on Amazon, which I'll link down below, because as of right now, for like 700 bucks, if you can get this thing, it's an absolute no-brainer, especially if you aren't somebody that's kind of on the creative side that needs all that intense horsepower and CPU and GPU. So the M1 MacBook Pro is what's powering this entire desk setup, and I absolutely love it. And even though I mentioned that he's not really a creator and he's not working with video or photos or anything like that, I still wanted to get him a 4K monitor and wanted him to experience a single cable solution, because once you go with a single cable solution, it's very hard to go back and kind of deal with all that. So what we decided to go with here is a 4K Phillips Creator monitor. It is a 27-inch 4K Ultra HD monitor, which gets the job done 100%. And right now, I think it's on sale for like $350, maybe $360 brand new from Amazon, and it's an absolute no-brainer. It's got all the ports that you would need. Like I mentioned, it is a single cable solution, so if you want to, you can actually just plug in the included Thunderbolt cable, which alone, depending on where you get it from, could be $50 to $100. But it does have that included Thunderbolt cable, which you just plug into the back of the monitor, and then plug that into the actual laptop, and all of a sudden, not only is your laptop charging, but then you're also displaying audio and video to the actual display itself. And then in terms of I/O, this is what makes it even more amazing for the price point, because not only does it give you that 4K resolution, but then you also get an additional HDMI port on the back. You get 2 more display ports, so you can actually daisy chain these and get as many of these as you want. Maybe not with the M1 MacBook Pro because it doesn't support more than one monitor, but if you have a Mac Studio or any other laptop, if it's a Windows laptop, you can then daisy chain a bunch of these monitors. It also has 3 additional USB-C ports on the back for power pass-through and data, and then 4 additional USB-A ports, again for power pass-through and more data. So no matter how many maybe hard drives or accessories you have, you'll have more than enough when it comes to this actual monitor for the actual I/O. So this is a no-brainer in my opinion for anybody looking for a high quality but relatively inexpensive 4K monitor. Now I did want to include a hub in this actual desk setup, so we went with a Caldigit hub, but this is going to be the Caldigit Element Hub. And what I love about this is the form factor and the amount of power that you get out of that form factor. So in this form factor, you obviously get the Thunderbolt 4 port that goes to the actual computer itself, but then you also get 3 more Thunderbolt 4 ports for whatever you need, which is going to be the fastest data transfer speeds that you can get on the market. And then also you get 4 USB-A 3.2 Gen 2 ports, which are also extremely quick in their own right. Anything that you would need out of a hub is going to be in this Element Hub, and it supports up to an 8K output of video if you have the correct supported monitor. So obviously this works with our 4K Phillips monitor that I mentioned earlier. So definitely check this one out. And now in front of the actual monitor and the hub itself, I do like to have an Orbit desk mat. I've been using Orbit desk mats for years now. They're absolutely amazing. They're multifunctional, and it's got a couple tricks up its sleeve. So it's not only a desk mat, of course, but you can also slide documents underneath and in between the desk mat and the bottom portion of it, which is made out of felt. You also have a railing on top that holds these magnets, which allow you to kind of cable organize. So maybe you need to charge your mouse or your keyboard, which we'll get to in a little bit, and that lets you kind of cable manage very easily, but also very aesthetically. So Orbit has made desk mats for years, and I absolutely love this one. And then on the desk mat itself, we have 2 things. We have the Satechi M1 Mouse, which is a tried and true mouse that I've been using for years now. It connects to only one device, so that's something that you do need to consider, but it is only $30, and it's a very high quality mouse for the price point. And then you have the brand new Lemokey P1 by Keychron, which is going to be a mechanical keyboard that I thought was amazing. I'm not a huge fan of mechanical keyboards to begin with. I like the kind of chiclet, low profile style keyboards because it's what I'm used to, but my brother does love mechanical keyboards. He likes the clickiness of it. He's used to that key travel, and this one's no different. This was extremely high quality, extremely well made. It has everything that you would need in the box, from the keycaps to alternative keycaps to keycap tools. It is relatively heavy, so you know that it's made out of good aluminum and good materials. So if you guys need a mechanical keyboard that fits this aesthetic, or any mechanical keyboard for that matter, Keychron is going to be the way to go. And then of course, no desk setup is complete without a 3-in-1 Apple charger, so we went with the Kuxiu X23 Pro, which charges your big 3 Apple devices, which is your iPhone, your Apple Watch, and your AirPods. So it's got a MagSafe compatible charger, which does charge your iPhone up to 7.5 watts. It is not a Qi 2 charger, but if let's say you have a Samsung phone or a Google phone that supports 15-watt wireless charging, and you do have a MagSafe case on it, then you can charge any other supported device at 15 watts. It's just the iPhone is only at 7.5 watts. You can also charge your Apple Watch at the fast speed, so it does support fast charging for your Apple Watch, and it gives you an additional charging pad there for your AirPods or AirPods Pro or any other wirelessly charging set of headphones. And then we also included the Baseus 65-watt 6-in-1 kind of power hub, I guess you would call it, because it has 3 AC outlets that you can plug into anything. So if you have maybe a 100-watt brick or 130-watt brick or anything else that for that matter, you just plug it directly in there. But then it also has a USB-C port, a USB-A port, and then it has a retractable USB-C cable as well to charge up to 65 watts for whatever you actually plug directly into there. So that is an amazing thing to have. And I like the form factor. It's relatively portable, easy to move around, and the retractable nature of it, I think, is very cool. And then lastly on the desk, we do have the Yohann headset stand, so it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a beautifully machined piece of wood that looks aesthetically pleasing at any desk setup, and I think it matches perfectly with the wooden nature of the actual desktop itself. So being able to have that there with some Bose headphones on, or whatever the case may be for him, whatever headset he uses, he now has a perfect place for them to rest, and it still looks visually pleasing to look at. And then lastly, we have to talk about the chair itself. This one's also by Flexispot. This is their C7 ergonomic chair. And again, this is going to be one of those chairs that's the best bang for the buck because it gives you a lot of the features and material choices of some more expensive chairs that are on maybe the $800 to $1,000 price point, and they were able to bring that price point to just under $350. So again, for the price that you're paying for the C7 chair, combined with the actual desk itself and all the auxiliary accessories, I think it makes for an absolutely amazing setup, and that's exactly what we did here. So that would just about do for this video, everybody, and as you guys saw, you do not need to spend an exorbitant amount of money to get you the perfect desk setup, and you definitely don't need to have the latest and greatest tech in order to be extremely productive for what you do on a day-to-day basis. My brother using the M1 MacBook Pro from about 2020 is still working perfectly fine, and that's why we still made it the centerpiece of this actual desk setup. And then when it comes up to the desk, the chair, and the accessories that you use on a daily basis to get you from point A to point B in your day-to-day tasks is extremely important, but you don't need to actually spend top dollar on every single accessory. You know, spend a third or a quarter of the price to get you 99% of the experience, and that's what I wanted to showcase with these accessories, this Flexispot desk, and the chair itself. But that's going to do it for this video, everybody. If you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below, and leave a comment down below of maybe some desk accessories that you use on a daily basis that really help your workflow overall that we didn't mention in this video, so people can kind of pick and choose and see what best fits their needs. But that's going to do it, everybody. If you want to watch more videos like this one, click on one of these right here, and until next time, I'm Fernando, and I'm out of here, everybody. Peace. Definitely stay subscribed if you guys want to see an M4 iPad Pro desk setup video, which I'm already working on, which I'm extremely excited about. Peace.